Hashtag never forget
Mm-hmm.
that Abs from Five told us that he was lyrically black and we should not try to ignore.
He actually said that.
I'm
lyrically black. John wasn't actually agreeing with you back. Oh my god.
What an absolute goon. Hello, and you're very welcome along to the Unpopular Opinion podcast. My name is Jen.
My name is Carla.
Still recording remotely. We've had like a few little... The sound isn't great. I know.
Oh, sorry, I don't understand. Sorry, excuse me. No, I'm bringing this back. We recorded on these exact microphones in this exact setup for the whole of lockdown. And there was no moaning then. So.
Well, you see, I think... I might have had a different software thing that I don't know. I'm trying my best. You're just going to have to hire
How has our software gotten worse?
No, well, do you know what it was? It was a free download that like leveled out the sound.
Oh.
But it was glitchy as fuck, and I'm pretty sure I got a few viruses from it, which is why we had to get a new laptop. So I'm not fucking downloading it again. Do you know what I mean? So you're just going to have to hire us up, lads. I'm sorry. We are in contact with our fucking equipment fucking provider to try and sort this out.
Have you seen the emails?
The worst. No, I'm leaving it with you.
Worst. No, oh my god, they are the worst. They're like, please email these people. So I email them. They're like, I don't know why you're emailing us. And I'm like, are you fucking, am I like, what is going on here? They're like, we're in Australia. And I'm like, then why does it say Road UK?
Yeah. It's what am I trying to think of? What's that fucking word the Queen owns and all?
Oh,
the British Empire, but like
the monarchy, not the. I know what you mean. The thing. Gibraltar's in it. The crew.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. You know them. You know the lads.
All of the countries that she took over. What's it called?
What the that's actually gonna fucking wreck my head.
And you with a Brit.
I know. What the fuck? I know what it is, and people are at home are probably screaming at their car radio, kitchen radio, whatever the fuck you're listening this onto.
It'll come to me. It will come to me.
The British.
It's not the British Empire. It's like
no.
It's Saturday morning. I can't cope. My legs are already after swelling up. Like
oh no, I can't.
I'm so stressed.
No, that's gonna fucking.
There's the two of us now. Fucked. If we were ever in the chase, we'd be fucked.
Yeah, honestly, I'd just be sitting there like a fucking gobshite, and the chaser would be staring at me like you are truly special.
How did you get on this?
I'd be like,
pass the interview.
I'd be like, I don't really know actually.
Fluke. It was an absolute fluke.
Switched my brain on that day. Apparently, it didn't come on today. So, anyway, apologies to everybody who's screaming out at home. Still haven't figured it out, and don't worry. By the time you text me to let me know what it is, I'll already have figured it out. So, no hard feelings, gang.
Exactly. Some serious business to start off with. Yeah. During the week, obviously, Dublin turned into
obviously.
So, like, obviously, hasn't been, as of Saturday morning, there hasn't been an update on the little girl that's critical in hospital, basically. So if you don't know, or if you're outside the country and you've managed to avoid everything, there was an attack on 3 children and 2 adults outside a school in a very densely populated area of Dublin. Like one of the kids, she's 5, she's critically ill in hospital after being stabbed. I don't think the injuries are as serious in the other victims.
Not that I know of.
And then it spurred on, I'm gonna say, I don't even want to call them far right groups because it's not what they like. They were opportunists basically that started looting and rioting. You know, like I think anybody who's serious about their far right ideology or genuinely have a belief that, and like I agree to an extent that people coming in from different countries that are unvetted, like something does need to change.
Yeah, but
But you're not going to be taken seriously with that fucking behaviour, are you?
No, but I also think a lot of the people that are looting and rioting and any of that stuff have no idea who's even in government.
No.
Have no idea anything about our immigration system. So, and this is kind of the issue. They don't really, they identify with far right ideology, but they don't actually understand what far right is. And there's loads of different layers to this. A riot was not the quote unquote narrative of the riot was protect our country from foreigners.
Protect our women and children.
Protect our women and children, specifically from foreigners. Now, there's a couple of different layers to this, because right down at the base layer of it, good old Sean, who enjoys his lambs or his lemon tree or his millennium or his Mandarin Castle, and his nephew David has been in Australia for the past 5 years, isn't really putting two and two together.
No.
As to regards to an expat versus a foreigner versus a immigrant. None of that is actually collating in the brain. But great opportunity to go and nick a few runners.
One runner out of Foot Locker.
One singular runner out of Foot Locker. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Does loads for everyone, does loads for the country. One of those kind of situations. Now, you kind of keep going up the layers. I think it is easy and redundant to be like, it's just scum being scum, and then leave it at that, and not actually think about why and what's happening and like how long this has basically been going on for.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely been building up for a while, and I saw on Twitter last night a list came out of some names of people who were charged. All corners of Dublin. It wasn't like, I obviously don't agree with the blanket statement on the classism that they were all scumbags from fucking the North Inner City, from Ballymun, Finglas, that kind of thing.
But that's not even true.
There's a 45-year-old from Bray who was there. There's somebody else from Dunleary that was there. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, these are the people who were charged, brought up in court for this. Like, they've been named and identified, and like, their addresses are not fucking Coultry Avenue in Ballymun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, it that's the kind of, it just seems, and I was speaking to a few people on Instagram the other night when it happened, because I ended up just going on a rant about it, and it was like, if they actually understood or they were educated in what they think they're fighting for, this wouldn't be the behaviour.
Yeah, and I think this is where it kind of comes down to, like, look, at the end of the day, it's a government failing from years and years and years of gentrification, squeezing the lower working class, increasing competition between these classes, ensuring that the bankers, vulture funds and everything else is protected, ensuring that we stay in a housing crisis, and then squeezing people into areas with no community, no education, and no fucking hobbies. There's nothing for adults to do. There's nothing for late teens and adults to do other than drink and fight. In this country, there literally kind of isn't. Like, unless, again, you introduce hobbies at a young age, and like, we all know what that's like as an adult as well, trying to take up a new hobby. It's like, it's so many people are like, well, it's up to them to do something about it. No, it's actually up to upbringing, education, and 100% community. And like, these community studies have been proven time and time and time again in so many different ways. I think we talked a little bit with Connell about what it used to be like back in the day for, you know, if somebody had a baby, the community would raise it. And like, there's so many different examples of this. And by what's happening in this country, little by little, and with the policies that are coming into government that are consistently squeezing the quote-unquote taxpayer, or what everybody sees as the everyday.
The squeezed middle, that's the actual term for it.
Yeah, the squeezed middle. But also, I think, like, people think middle and they forget about the lower classes as well. And they forget about essentially the level of poverty that there is going on as well. If you're in poverty in Ireland, there is such an unbelievable
stigma around
it, but also there's such hopelessness and helplessness, because at this point in time, there has been nothing positive that has been put into place for a very long time. And I think the issue is as well, when like the budget comes out, it's like, oh, will they get another 12-year on the job seekers, or, you know, there's another payment for one parent families, and there's X, Y, and Z. There's never really, again, it just completely comes down to what level of education that there is out there, but also what level of investment that there is in the area that you live in and into your particular lifestyle. And you can't just be like, it's up to everybody to learn. This is the issue. You said that before, and now they're after going and listening to Joe Rogan. They're after going and listening to fucking, like, what's your man's name? President of Romania, Andrew Tate. Sorry, him. They're going and listening to intense, far-right debates in America, and they're saying, well, I do agree with a lot of that. There's bits of that I do agree with, and that's the stuff that they're getting on their phone. They're not actually getting any of this quote unquote help and education or going out and looking for it. And also, as everybody knows, it is incredibly difficult in this country to understand your taxes and to understand what's going where and why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's not something that they help you with. It's even stuff like your tax rebates. Like, we were only laughing about it last week. They don't make these things fucking easy for people. Absolutely
not. Half the people don't know what they're fucking entitled to, and I think it's on purpose. Yeah. That sounds very like a conspiracy, but it's nearly like they make it hard so that you're not arsed trying to get money back off them.
Absolutely. And and it works a lot of the time. We were talking with our accountant, and she was even like, Jesus Christ, it took me so long to navigate the new system. Like, this is a person who spends time on it and understands it and understands taxes and rebates and all that other kind of stuff. Like, there's such a bigger problem. I think it's super fucking easy for everybody to be like, that was scum, they're X, Y, and Z, which, you know, is true in a lot of
ways. There's an element
also,
of it, yeah. When you see the screen recording of the WhatsApp kill all immigrants,
that's absolutely, like, that, I was sitting there and I was like, there's such mortification, but that's what I mean, there's such a lack of understanding. Like, you simply cannot sit down with your fucking spice bag and, as I said, call your nephew in Canada and be like, you know what, fuck the immigrants, fuck them anyway.
Like, it's
not in my country. Take care of our own.
It's the most fucking ignorant. Like, as I said, to an extent, there is that element of, like, when you hear stories, and then again, you don't even know how fucking true they are, of the busload of unvetted, what do they call it? Unvetted military age men showing up at East Wall last year. Do you remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you hear that, you are kind of a bit like, oh, what the fuck's going on here? But you don't set fire to the entrance and exit of a hotel where women and children who are fleeing war-torn countries are staying. Like, where's the fucking logic? Where is the fucking logic? And I wouldn't mind, and I've said it time and time again, the people who are the loudest, people who are, like, the fucker who threw the box that was on fire into the Garda car, like, you're not getting Garda vetted either. Do you know what I mean?
No, I know. And this
where's your Garda vetting? Like,
where's your fucking Garda vetting? Where's your citizen, like, actual, what you call it?
Where's your freedom of the city key? Like, you are no hero, mate. Fuck off. And there's so many, and for my own entertainment, and I've stopped now. There was a few kind of heads that I was like, I don't even know how I became friends with them. Obviously, Facebook's been around for like 20 fucking million years, so I obviously friended these people at some stage. But some of them are these, like, have this ideology, and purely for my own entertainment purposes, I never unfriended them because I just wanted to see what they had to say. And it was just kind of funny, the shit that they were sharing. But now it's just gone to a level where it's getting serious now. So I'm just like, no, like, say something where it fucking needs to be said. Do you know what I mean?
No, I know.
So, like, whereas I used to just scroll on by and go, you fucking idiot. But that's before Anton got really violent. Do you know what I mean? So it's just, it is kind of getting to a stage now. Like, something will have to be done about this. But at the same time,
but the pressure that it's putting on public services in the middle of it as well. And like, do you think the fucking guards have nothing better to be doing?
They didn't need
sure
that. Yeah.
Like, nobody needed that. Such a fucking dangerous, and I know that they did that on, like, that was the purpose. That was the point. It was like, stand up and fight. They're gonna listen to us. We're gonna make them listen to us. But again, you're a minority and you're an angry echo chamber. And the problem is, this country has time and time again platformed these people. We need to see the other side of the argument. We literally don't. We literally don't. We don't need to see somebody going, I don't think they should let foreigners in. We don't actually need to see that side of the argument. Because the same people that are saying that don't actually understand immigration versus someone who is considered a quote unquote expat. It all boils down to the same thing. It's like, because, like, just say what you mean. Because you are white, you feel like you can go anywhere and do anything. But for people who are non-white or non-white identifying, you feel like they should be put against another set of standards.
Yeah.
Just say it. Say what you fucking mean. And I think there's such, like, there's been this bollocks for so many years being like, Ireland's not a racist country. When, like, all of the indicators has been there time and time again. And again, it's so easy. And there's, you know, Imelda May put up this thing, you don't get to be Irish and racist. We are well aware what has happened in our history of how many times that we've been forced to immigrate, how many times that we have had no other choices, and how much this country has made it so fucking unlivable that we do have to do that at the same time. But there is no thought process. So it's almost like, even watching it, you just feel so helpless. Like, I feel so helpless for the guards who actually go out and fucking deal with that shite, which is such a scary and also unhinged situation, and something that you have never actually been put up against with your own, like, in your own jurisdiction, in your own country. Like, that's tough. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's...
Yeah, well, seeing the videos of the guard getting the head boxed off on O'Connell Bridge, like having to run into the river bar with the other fella and the bike getting taken off him, like I was like, that could be somebody's dad.
I know.
Like, imagine Ray going into work and then people were attacking him and going, "Oh, you're supposed to protect our children." Do you want a guard at every door in Dublin City to make sure that stuff? Who the fuck can predict something like that?
But this is what I mean. It's like there's more funding needed for the guards as well.
Yeah.
Like, particularly, I was only having this conversation because that guard that was assaulted heavily. Well, they were all fucking assaulted, weren't they? But that one that was in particular, who had very severe injuries, was my sister's best friend sergeant. And yeah, and she was brought in, and it's just like little things, like we were talking about it yesterday, and I was just like even the mounted guards, like, they're, as much as the horses and the dogs are trained, horses in particular, like, you're trained for it, but they also are horses. They haven't a fucking real breeze what's going on. They're just running into fire. They're galloping into fire. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, and obviously that's, again, they are trained for these situations, but you still don't know until you're in it. The guards are trained for these situations, but you still don't know it until you're actually in it.
So unpredictable.
You're facing it down and you're going, holy fuck, here we go. And like, your fight or flight, no, I could never.
I know. And when you see the footage of, like, some of the people, how brazen they were, like, pushing up against the riot gear and just getting in your face, like, how intimidating that would be to even be in the same vicinity as that, never mind be the subject of whoever, like, you know, your man is screaming in your face or whatever. It's so fucking intimidating.
So violent. Yeah, it's so like, it's so violent. And again, I'm well aware that they're all trained, like, they're trained for this, but at the same time, you don't know it until you're in it. Like, you literally don't know it until you're in it. And there's, like, just, like, there is so much, like, in particular, you have the lads that were going up and down the streets in their fucking electric scooters, just battering who they could, scouting where there was and wasn't guards, seeing what they could basically get away with and how for how long. How do you combat that?
Yeah, well, that was the kind of opportunistic side of it. Like, it was just the Luton Arnott's and the sport, all the shops that they probably wouldn't be going into daily.
Eason's chilling.
Eason's chilling with all of the education that they probably fucking need in it. Do you know what I mean? Go in and rob a book and read it.
Go on, do us a fucking favour.
Do us a fucking favour.
Do us a fucking favour. Down the back history.
Oh, Jesus, it was just, I was ashamed now to be, like, looking at all of that going, this, like, just basically on the same note that everybody else had the opinion of, like, this is not my Dublin, this is not us. No. Like, what the fuck?
It was on the news in Russia.
It's everywhere.
It's made the news everywhere. My aunt called me last night and she was like, every single person who knows that she's Irish, like, we're like, is that what Dublin's really like? She was like, no, I swear, please.
This is hopefully like, a once off, like, not the start.
Like, no. But the problem is, I think not the problem. I think it's good that, like, people's eyes have opened up to it, because we watch so much mad shit happening in other countries all the time. We almost think that we're better than it and that it doesn't go on right underneath our noses. Yeah,
like, we were getting a bit cocky there with how great is Ireland with the Palestinian support.
Calling ourselves spicy white and all this kind of stuff.
Look at us.
Fucking are not. Like,
yeah, I know.
How embarrassing. Like a week after a great protest. the next weekend, here we go.
I know.
And it's just kind of like, oh, I don't know. It's just fucking mad. It's absolutely mad. People hold up in their businesses for hours, nobody being able to get home. Like, you're saying that you wanted to be you really gave a shite about women and children's safety when you made sure that they couldn't get home on public transport and had to figure something else out.
Or when you sent a maternity hospital into fucking lockdown. That's well done. Like, even Waterford Whispers News came out with an article. They were like, women and children thank lads for upending the city in their name. Like, what the fuck?
But I'm like, you couldn't protect a curry chip, Polly. I don't know why you're pretending as if you're the one out there on the streets making sure women aren't assaulted. Yeah. You've never the same person who emotionally abuses their bird every day.
I was just about to say that, and I was like, is that too much? Is it too much to say that? Because I was just about to say, like, their mouths were probably ringing them going, where the fuck are you? And they're getting told to fuck off. Yeah. Like, where's the respect for the women? Like,
where's the respect for the women? I thought, you thought you cared so much about it.
Yeah.
I thought you cared so much about it. And don't get me started on that Irish fighter. Oh, fucking. And you know what fucks me off, right? And I was only having this conversation with the girls last night. We, like, the Netherlands are just after voting in a Conservative government.
Okay.
Sweden at the moment has a middle right government. So all these countries that are known for being fair, you know, pretty liberal, pretty out there, pretty fair, it's creeping, lads. And before you know it, that fucking Irish fighter will be our president.
Oh God, no.
Because remember who was in the running the last time, and it's only getting more that way. And I guarantee you, at some point in time, that fucker is going to go for it.
He probably will.
And probably will get it, because you're going up against this kind of mob mentality, this very specific group of people who can cause a lot of ructions, who probably wouldn't vote in the first place, who wouldn't vote ever, kind of, if you get me.
Just about to say, well, the way things are at the minute, he probably wouldn't get in with the amount of women that would go out and vote, but
I don't know.
You can be sure the men would register if he went up. There
is so many Arnott's girlies liking his fucking posts. Oh, God. Commenting, dead right.
No. Fuck, no. Jesus.
So
he is a parasite.
There's a lot of Arnott's and Brown Thomas girlies I've seen and worked with through the years, and I saw them all liking the post. I'm like, coola fucking boola.
We would like to condemn that. Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Look, at the end of the day, it's a much larger issue. I hope there is actually a bigger, it's not just going to be one of those things where it's just thrown down to a couple of scumbags took an opportunity to make X, Y, and Z about them. I hope that it's actually dealt with considerately, and that there is, like, it won't be, but I really hope that something changes at some point. Like, it's becoming ever more terrifying to live in this world, but also with the insane amount of information that are, like, you can be as ignorant or you can be as open as you want on your phone.
Yeah, you really can. We have so many opportunities to, like, find out what the crack is. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But
also, I will just say, before we move on to our next topic, manipulating the uneducated is such an unbelievably easy thing to do.
That's very true.
But, like, as in, and that's what it is. That's all that it is. All these far right movements, all you're doing is picking little bits and bobs out of much grander policies, much grander statements,
and making these little simple metaphors, and
that's marketing.
Go,
that's marketing, and that's a money maker, and you're in the same trap that you are with any other. And as I said at the start, the people that were outright and they couldn't tell you one policy. They don't actually know who's in government. They haven't a fucking breeze. No. All they know is Varadkar and Miha.
I know.
But even the arranged and organised attacks on Varadkar's quote-unquote houses, he's got a penthouse there! Like, what?
What the fuck?
Like, how are you hearing these little bits and bobs? And again, this is where it's like, oh, I could go on for days and days and days. How fucking terrifying.
I know. To finish up on a nice note, Kyo.
Yes.
Kyo, the hero of the city, his GoFundMe, if you haven't donated already, has now... Kyo, is it Kyo?
Kyo.
When he
I think you said Kyo.
I thought it was Kyo.
I was like, is it Chow?
I thought it was Chow.
I thought it was really... First time I read it, I was like, Chow, and then I was like, that's not his fucking name. I think he said
Kyo. Anyway, Benikyo. The guy who stopped the attack, essentially, and potentially saved
I think you're right, Jen. I think I got it wrong. I think I decided that it was.
I've seen his. No, I've seen.
I saw his thing. I think in my brain I was like, Kayo. No, that's not his name. Anyway, go
on. His GoFundMe has surpassed 321 grand.
And I'm fucking delighted. And I'm pretty sure he will be able to actually take that tax free because it's donations.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking hoping so, and I'm hoping he has a great fucking life.
Yeah.
Or he gets the leg up that he deserves and that he needs.
Absolutely.
Because what a reaction, my guy.
Now, there's a load of stories going around about, the top donator did a €1,500, fair play to them. Top donation yesterday, when I looked at it, was 500. 1,500, fair play. Obviously you don't know what stories until you hear it from his mouth anyway, but apparently he had a restaurant in Brazil, it burnt down, his kids are still over there, so he's over here working, sending money home, wants to bring the kids over here. Whether that's still true or not after what's gone on, I don't know, but I just hope he gets the life that he really wants, and fair fucking play to him. Like, he is a hero and a foreigner at the end of the day.
And at the end, and that's what cracked me up as well about that Irish fighter's post, that
then he was like,
he eats for free in his pub. Yeah. He gets to eat for free in his pub for life. Well done, you're the correct kind of foreigner. No, I don't like the wooden foreigners, but I do like the foreigner that does the things, you know what I mean? I know fucking nothing about anything, but I'm going to just keep talking and hope that people like it, you know what I mean? I'm just going to keep going for it.
I'm a cheeky fucking bastard.
I'm a cheeky fucker, I am. I'm a fucking cheeky fucker.
If you're a patron, you'll know from last week's episode. I'm a cheeky fucker.
I'm a cheeky fucker. You know me, I'm in the background, I'm always causing mayhem.
Right, to finish up, the toy show was last night.
It was, and where
were you? What the fuck were you doing? Because you weren't watching.
I fucking certainly was not.
Never fucking done.
No, I went and I booked a flight to Mexico instead.
When are you going? Oh, for fuck's sake, another fucking trip.
No, it's a trip within a trip. It's a trip within a trip. It's over New Year's, so I was away anyway.
Right. Okay.
So it's not going to fuck your life up.
I'm going on mat leave.
You're gone. You're gone. Yeah, that's what I mean. So don't worry. It's not. Don't worry. You don't need to stress about it.
So you're going from the States.
I'm a cheeky fucker, Jen. What can I say?
Little fucker you were.
Cheeky fucker.
Yeah. Look, Patrick Keelty's his debut of the toy show. Initially, and when I texted you last night, I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this. It was a bit like, you know, when Ross cheated on Rachel when they were on a break.
Yeah.
And he was like, she wasn't better, she was just different. That's the kind of way that I felt. But you know what? It was more so, the more I watched it, I was kind of thinking, actually, every time Tubbs did it, there was an element of, I loved Tubbs' energy, and obviously there was the running joke, whether you fucking condone it or not, was that there was a bag involved every year, and this was the running joke that, you know, this is where the energy came from or whatever.
Don't be getting us cancelled now, Jen, okay? People don't like that joke only when it's told by men, and you are not a man, okay? So until you get that,
I would like to redact what I just said. I was just stating facts.
Men can only make that joke. Women cannot make that joke. So how dare you?
So I loved Tubbs' energy, but he did it did kind of get bigger than anybody that was ever on the stage. Do you know, like, the performances were always fucking huge. The sob stories were always a lot. I did always think, if a kid... No, but it was more like a Make-A-Wish program rather than an actual toy show, because it used to be just a toy show. Do you know what I mean? I used to kind of think of the kids that would have been watching it, and every year I'd always comment on it, and every year I'd always get Instagram DMs from mums going, kids are having a shy time, they don't even want to watch this because it's literally nothing but Aer Lingus gifting trips to Disneyland to kids that have, you know, been through it, like, do you know what I mean? Which is obviously, it's lovely for those kids, and they're great stories, and a lot has come out of it. The toy show appeal, loads of money has been raised. There are kids who have had hard lives that have benefited hugely from those situations, but it did get a bit, and especially since the pandemic, when it was that year of, like, it was more so the stories rather than the toys, and it kind of just continued like that for the next kind of 2 years or whatever. But this year it brought it back to very much Gabo era where he had time for the kids. If he had have done exactly what he did with a bit more energy, it would have been perfect in my unpopular opinion.
But his first go.
Of course, and his nerves would have been gone, but I just did think, I was looking at him, I was like, oh, I'm gonna fall asleep. Like, it was just, he was slow, and he was like, the energy didn't match the vibe. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I just think he could have just been a bit more hyper. And but that would be my only thing. He did a fucking great job. Like, he smashed it for his first one. He made it about the kids. He didn't make it about himself. It was about the toys. There was a few things in it where I was just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, they brought... there was a little girl. He kept forgetting the kids' names as well. And you could tell he was like struggling with the auto cue. You had to keep looking at the name tags. And I'd imagine, like, there's fucking hundreds of kids on that. It is a lot. And I would say it is very fucking hard to try and
with
keep
the names
up with
nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But he was
like, this is Cú Chulainn.
He was caught. This is the salmon of knowledge. He was he was like mixing Sadie up with Sophie and, you know, all this sort of stuff.
Easily
done for a man in his what decade is he in? 40s, 50s?
40s?
But they brought a girl. Her name was Sophie. He did call her Sadie. Her name was Sophie. I'm pretty sure she had leukemia because she had a teddy who had a little pump, and she was like, "Oh, this is Uni." It was a unicorn. This is Uni, and she has leukemia. And there was no fur left on this unicorn because she hugs her so much. It was the fucking cutest thing.
That's so cute.
So cute. But she was in this like little theatre when they showed up. So it was like her dream was to be on the toy show. So they surprised her by getting the camera crew into this little theatre. She was having a viewing party. It was in Tipperary.
What? I
was like, there's literally a song about how fucking far away that is. Like, literally. Yeah. So what he did was, threw her on a bus, and during the toy show, brought her from Tipperary to Dublin. And I was like, is that not like a 2-hour drive? She missed, now obviously there's the player and all, she can catch up on it or whatever, but she spent most of her time, maybe they watched it on the bus, I don't know. But I was just like, it's a lot for a kid of her age to be traipsing up to Dublin. She didn't make it on the screen until after 12. And I was...
Well, how long did the fucking thing go on for?
After 12. This is why people were kind of like... This is why I think there was mixed views. Usually it's like 9:30 to 11:30.
In pain this morning.
Yeah, like usually it's kind of 25 to 9 or 25 to 10 till about between 11:30 and 12. Sometimes it can go over... I don't think they have many restrictions on the toy show because it's live and can happen, that kind of thing.
They should make it earlier. Should they not make it earlier?
See, this is the whole thing
for
about
the toy show.
The late.
Yeah, but it's a fucking toy show. It's a program for you can dress it up and dress it down whatever way you want. It's a program for kids.
I know. This is the thing. I actually saw. Anyway, I'll finish up about the little girl. So they brought her there, showed her a few toys. It was lovely. It was very cute, very sweet. Patrick was lovely to her. And then they gifted her a trip to, Hartburn, the Disneyland in Florida.
Paris. Oh, Florida.
No, Florida, the big one. I was like, I was shocked. It was brilliant. And they don't seem to do the big prizes anymore, you know, where at the end they ring somebody to, like, you enter this competition or whatever. Yeah. It's more so about the toy show appeal now, so you donate your money and then a big prize goes to a kid at the end, which I think is nice. Yeah. But yeah, it was just, I can't remember what I was going to say there before I finished up about Sophie. What were you saying? Oh yeah, sorry, I seen a video yesterday and it was like the logic of the Late Late Toy Show. It was like, we're going to aim this show at kids, but we're going to have it on after 9:30. It's going to be like about toys, but we're not going to really show the toys. We're just going to mention the sponsors, and it's going to be more so about like giving gifts to the audience members who are all adults rather than the kids on the stage. And we're going to essentially just use them for the content. Like, the kids are for the content. Like, it was just, it was just very funny the way, I was like, when you hear it out like that, it was funny. But I do think it was very like, with Tubbs, it was very like that, but with Patrick Healty, I think he has kind of reined it back like a little bit, and it is a bit better, even though I was a bit underwhelmed with him at the beginning, but I did come around to it, and I think it was a good one. you know.
Because like when we were younger, it was just about the toys, which was a marketing machine. Now it's like a fucking RTE publicity machine. I'm like, would you not rather take the fucking Spawn Con from Smith's?
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. Would you not rather like do that whole thing rather than trying to be like, we're actually an incredible company?
Yeah.
No, I haven't forgot your ledgers actually, so I'm not so sure. But
yeah, I know. And then obviously you had the Mullet Kid, which...
oh my God, Shamey was I love that name, by the way.
Shamey. I love it. So much better than
gorgeous. So much better than Seamus and so much better than Shay. Because Shay can be their nickname. But Shamey is just like such a fucking cute Irish name. I just think it's gorgeous.
Very cute.
And I remember before I saw this baby and his name was Shamey and I fell in love with it. It was just the cutest little kid ever. It had like the chubbiest fucking cheeks. And he was dressed in a little baby suit. And I was like, I'm obsessed. And his name is Shamey. So now forever and ever, I'm like, Shamey is such a fucking cute name.
It is such
a good name.
And he had the mullet. And there was, I don't know who put it up on Twitter, but it was a video of Shamey as baby. He's always had the mullet. He's always been Uncle Joey. You know that meme? He's always been him. He's a legend in his own right. He's an icon. Yeah. So, and I think he was... That actually bring back the ratings for the toys, because they did get into the toys quite a lot. They should be doing a Gabe or a Pat Kenny on it.
I loved the rating.
Give us the rating. Give us what would you give it out of 10?
Yeah, and they'd always be like, I'm so glad you asked that question.
Yeah, and it's such like an important question for a kid.
I know, it really is. It's all kids give a shite. It's like, well, Shamey gave it a 7.
Yeah. Do you know?
So I'm up for finding out. Anyway, we asked you guys what you think about the old toy show and how it is nowadays and all the bits and all the bobs. You know, the kind of usual.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would like to see the opinions now, because we got these in before Paddy took over.
Before Paddy's. Yeah. So the first one I have here, and again, these are just listener things. I don't know why Ireland is so protective over this fucking toy show, but again, these are your opinions, all anonymous.
It's an event!
Mine. It's not an event, and so many people said, I agree with Carla, Jen, you're going to hate this, but it's not an event, exactly. Ryan Tuberty's the worst host, so cold and rude to the kids, it's almost bullying.
That's not a lie.
Say how you feel.
But this is the thing, see, this is where I was kind of torn, because I loved his energy.
I never got, I didn't think that it was...
I didn't like his personality or his behaviour.
I didn't think it was his kind of show. I was like, I can tell that I can tell that you're just there because you have to be. I don't think you're like enjoying this whatsoever.
Tubbs?
I didn't think he liked it.
Oh,
yeah,
I think
I know everyone's like, no, he absolutely loved it. I'm going to be like, no, I don't feel that way.
No, I think
that's my opinion.
The complete opposite. Now, I nearly thought any other host that has done it has been like, oh God, this is just an obligatory kind of like, you know, kind of has to be done before Christmas or whatever, whereas Tubb genuinely enjoyed it. Okay. That would be my opinion. Right. Somebody, and I'm getting offended already. So weird when adults with no kids tune in a literal program about toys.
I see it.
Really?
Why would I be tuning in? Yeah.
Because it's a staple.
No, but I don't.
We grew up watching it. I just wanted to.
I don't. It's about toys. I'm not.
It's the show.
We have Netflix now. Come on.
I did before I had Bob. I watch it every year, without fail. Okay. I will watch it. Yeah. Well, there was maybe a few years.
We're gonna let you sit with that.
There was maybe a few years there in my teenage years where I didn't, but that was Pat Kenny, so it didn't count anyway.
Yeah, it didn't actually count, to be honest. Someone said, I'm attracted to Tubbs because of how good he was to kids.
I will say,
ratting on yourself.
I loved his passion when it came to the book section.
He did love a book.
He loved a book. And last night they incorporated, it was a good segue, they did. So what they did was, you know when they get the cars out, the ride-ons? Mm-hmm. The ride-on came out and then they mixed it in with a little fashion show. So like there would be like 3 ride-ons and then there'd be like dress-up costumes. So they did like 3 and 3. And then at the last bit, actually... Patrick did turn around at the end and say, this is my favourite one. And a kid came out with a bike and like a mobile library at the back, and then it just segued straight into that. There was no book nook. I pick up a book in the book nook. The way that like Tubbs used to. Do you know what I mean? Used to sit in a corner with them all, that kind of thing. And then the little girl rapping from Cork, she was in the book section as well.
I didn't see her.
Oh, she lost her nerve now live on stage when she was doing her raps, but on Twitter, the Late Late Show uploaded her, like her set, essentially, in the form of a video backstage. She smashed it. Fucking smashed it. Her little accent, she was just an icon. Fucking brilliant.
I'm going to fly through a few more. It's not even good. I don't get the hype. It's shit, but you just have to watch it. Hate it. The kids are always little melts. Posh kids with no manners. Hate the hype of it all. This is going to piss Jen off. It's not an event.
Fucking is.
Depressing and overhyped. I said it. Cue the fake wholesome families all over Insta. Absolute losers. I'll be watching I'm a Celeb. Thank you. Oh God, that one is... I'm not going to be able to read that one out. I think Tuberty was deadly. People forget how he did all the musical numbers and he sang and he danced. If you stumbled upon it without the nostalgia, we would have rapped in it. It's a bit shit, isn't it though? They barely show toys. I think if you're not in it with the clique as in entertainment or dancers, you'll never be on the show, which is sad for kids.
Well, it's always been that, hasn't it? It's always been either the Billy Barry kids. Now it's Spotlight Stage School.
Interesting.
And now been
is Billy Barry still going?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, someone goes, wait for this hate to come. I hate the shitty kids who think that they're funny, but they're actually rude. Got a good few people saying that the kids are rude on it.
They're kids!
I know kids are rude.
They by nature they're rude. They're little bastards.
Kids are rude, aren't they?
Yeah, they're so fucking rude.
So over it, it's absolutely shite every year. Please, for the love of God, stop the pyjama posts. Adults only pretend that they like it so they can post it on their Instagram. There's a lot of that cynicism. Don't like when the bold kids are forward and cheeky and everybody laughs. They're little shits. My daughter did the show in 2016. You can't even watch the show. You're stuck backstage all night. It was never good. My kids hate it and they don't watch it. Too much singing and dancing. Show the toys for fuck's sake. I prefer when it's about toys and not kids. It's shite. Ryan Tuberty killed it and I haven't been able to watch it ever since he took over. I couldn't make it fully through his first. To be honest, I think the show died with Gabriel, but that's just my opinion.
Oh, there you go. Now there's the opinions on the toy show. It's not an event! Right, before we go, have you got an unpopular opinion of your own?
I do indeed. So, brunch is over, I feel.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I was thinking about this because I was in Sweden last week. I was texting my friend and we were kind of deciding plans as what we were going to do or whatever. And I said, should we do a brunch? Is brunch like a thing over there? And he replied, yes, Carla, brunch is in Sweden. But I was like, no, but I just feel like it's done. Really? I think it's over. I just think it had such a boom there from like 2014 onwards. And I just feel like brunch is kind of done.
I feel like
we're just doing breakfast or lunch now. We're not doing brunch anymore. We're just literally calling it lunch. We're not being like, shall we brunch?
I always hate the word brunch.
It's kind of done.
I've always hated it.
Yeah. It's such a... I think it was, again, it was one of those things that people could be like, we have a brunch menu. Come in for bottomless brunch. Come in and do X, Y, and Z. Be in our establishment. But I feel like brunch is done.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
I feel like it as a concept is done. People are just straight out having lunch.
People are straight out having lunch. Sorry, here's Bob's. He's in just at the end of the episode. Do you want to say hello? Hang on, I put the headphones on.
Hello.
Hiya.
I'm feeling so good.
He's being so good. He's not allowed into the room, but he came into the room, so he's being so good.
So good. So good, Bobby. No one better.
You can hear him breathing. He's
like...
Now, thank you very much for that. That was brilliant. I'm going to finish up now, okay? Can you go?
Thanks for your
opinion.
Go down to
Dad. Thank you very much. Close the door.
Builder's coming soon, son.
Okay, perfect. Close the door, please. Oh my God. And I bet you Adam specifically said, do not go near ma on the way up.
He was literally
like, gotta do the opposite. That's what I mean. Kids are little shits by nature.
Well, maybe I do what I want. Purpose. Maybe I do what I want.
Exactly, yeah.
Maybe I do.
And I assume you have... Right, so brunch, I'm kind of like... I prefer brunch over a lunch. I fucking hate the fact that I have to have a breakfast and then a lunch. The effort. Merging them seems like the better option.
No, but would you not like? I feel like breakfast nowadays is whatever you can get, like anything light enough.
Like a Nature Valley bar that ends up on the floor.
Yeah, like you're having half a Yoplait.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it's just the effort of. I've never been a breakfast person unless somebody's making it for me. I'm just like, no.
You're not arsed.
Couldn't be arsed. I'll make it for like my kid. I don't know why I don't make food for myself while I'm at it.
Yeah, that is strange.
I know, it's fucking weird. It's like it's just kind of one of those obligatory things. Like if I don't feed him, it'll be called. Do you know what I mean? One of them things.
Very true.
I presume you have added to your stomper list.
It's already done.
Already done. That link will be down in the show notes as per usual. We're going to go and record our Patreon episode because I have a builder coming. So, more. Bam, bam, bam. Thank you very, very much, ma'am.
Right, God bless.
Go on, talk to you later. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.